I'm doing well. Thanks. Thanks for having me on again. Um, yeah. I have, and I'm excited about. I think a faster paced tournament today. 5 minutes with a 5 second increment should lead to some exciting play. It's definitely plenty of time to make your moves, but uh, yeah, I think we'll have. Uh, this will be a fun tournament, and I think it'll be nice having everybody sort of um, having these games happen sort of all at once very quickly, having a lot of excitement. Definitely will make it a little tough to follow along to
Yes.
some extent, but I think the games will be good. I think we saw in the last time I was here, it was a longer time control, and I think we saw some people um, sort of. I mean, it took a lot of time. People, I don't think were showing up on time to their games, and I think that'll
Hmm.
be sort of impossible with the 5 minute time control. So I'm excited.
That's true. Yeah, and that was the last time I was here too. And I was it 15-minute games even, or just 10 minutes? Something
I
significantly
think
long.
50, I think it was 15.
Might have been 15.
Um,
Yeah, so this is a huge difference. I was talking to Avi and he was surprised too. I don't know exactly who chooses this, but someone just likes to mix it up.
yeah, it says chlorophyll is the
Oh, okay.
started the tournament, so I don't really know. I guess he picked the time control, and it looks like we're getting a few late entries as well.
Oh, are we?
Mm,
Wow,
Yeah,
nine.
up to nine participants. So
Wow. That's the most we've had in quite a while, I'd say.
yeah, it should be good.
For anyone watching the stream, there's just a random game on. Some Lee Chess GM and FM playing. Just don't be confused. That's not our tournament yet. Just have to have a template, you know. So anyway, Happy New Year's. We're ringing in the New Year's with a King Cat, Fat Cat chess club tournament. Um, Looks like all the big names are here. I recognize all the names. Oh wait, Miller So. That one's a little bit more unusual. Maybe I've seen that one in the tournament before. Not sure.
Yeah, I think we'll find out if they have uh, history with them.
Hmm. Oh, and here we go. 4 games.
Yeah, I think Miller So is new.
Yeah.
They have no recorded games against Toto Fish G, who's a regular. So
Right, and they're up first right now, so that should be
mhm.
exciting. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to like I guess choose a main board each round. I'm sure. Um,
Yeah, I think probably the most exciting could be that Desert Denizen against Chess NY Kodafi.
yeah.
Um, they're off to a quick pace and also pretty closely grouped in rating,
Mm-hmm.
more so than some of the other boards. So I'm excited for this. Looks like sort of a closed position, Queen's Pawn game. So sort of transpose there from um, E. Sorry, yeah, D4 game. Looked like it was going to be maybe an Indian defense for a second there, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, not Queen's Gambit.
Hmm.
As we see White being shadowed on the Queen side, but didn't never
Yeah.
pushed C4.
Yeah. That's unusual. That or it's not unusual, but it's a little bit more offbeat. That type of being ghetto, right?
Yeah, I think Queen's Gambit is definitely the most popular D4 opening. Um, so good to see a slightly different strategy here.
Yeah. Wonder if people vary up their openings and time control differences, or not too much?
Yeah, I mean, I think the longer the game, the more maybe more willing you are to go away from your comfort zone. Because in a game like this, you really need to be able to execute the moves quickly. You don't have time to sort of think about an opening for a minute or two.
Right.
So I definitely think comfort openings, pocket openings are gonna be more common. And I think so. I do think you see a little less variance in the shorter time control games.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely makes sense. Yeah, it's a lot of intuition. I mean, yeah, you gotta be careful with these faster time controls, or it can become a lot of intuition if you don't manage your time right. Um,
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any advantages, if anybody's really gained any advantages on any of the boards, but all the early games look pretty even.
yeah. Oh wow, board one is off to the races. Toto never goes slow. Wow.
Yeah, I mean he's over 5 minutes of time, so he's moving fast at a faster than 5 seconds per move clip.
Yeah, 5 seconds a move
Um,
is like very slow for Toto Fish, I think.
uh, but pretty even game. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen it's evenly matched pawn structures, evenly matched material. Um,
Do you think
no real advantage found by anyone except maybe on the clock at this point.
right? I was gonna say, do you think Toto? I was just gonna say Queen F3 to trade queens. Is that smart for White? Because
Um,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, he had to put the queen somewhere, given the pin on the knight.
yeah.
So I think I am a little surprised that that sort of a move is coming up. I think that if that queen trade does happen, we're steaming right towards a draw. So
Hmm.
it's a little strange for me, but I mean the queen had to go somewhere, and, and there weren't a lot of great options. I'll say that.
Yeah. And Miller So is very highly rated. I didn't actually see that, but wow, it's a great new addition to the club.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw the queen trade as like, maybe Toto Fish just feels like, hey, I could get some strange advantage in an even end game, but against someone 2000 rated, it's like a lot less likely.
Yeah, and I mean I'm not sure if there's much of an advantage to take here.
No.
Just with how sort of even the material is now, they've traded off bishops. Um, it's going to be hard to find an advantage. I mean, your pawns are running right up against each other. Each player has two knights. Each player has two rooks. Um, I mean, really, I think this is going to lead to a complex endgame, and maybe with the clock in Toto Fish's favor, that could work out for them. But otherwise,
Yeah.
I think it's really close, really tight game right now.
Yeah, they got the rook on the seventh rank, but not really doing anything quite yet.
Yeah. I will point out that Desert Denizen is running a little low on time. They're
Wow.
bumping right up against 1 minute left on the clock. Um, so it's a
Even
pretty,
position.
yeah, it's a pretty even position.
Oh.
That was an aggressive move. I don't think,
You-
yeah, I dislike it. I mean, actually, I think that's a really good move because I think that just wins a pawn. Well, now that knight's hanging, so it just wins a pawn, unless I guess better would be to
oh wow.
yeah, better I think is just take the knight because it's
Yeah,
hanging. Though actually,
I didn't see that. Oh, take it with the
yeah,
bishop.
yeah, no, that's a strong position, and I think taking it with the bishop is right
For
because
sure.
obviously now the rook has to move, and I mean this position gets really strong, and I think you really want them to take. You want Desert Denizen to take the knight with the bishop. So I mean, this looks like a big advantage to me.
Yeah, you
Plus the
called
time
it.
advantage.
You said this game was going to be interesting, and it's definitely an interesting turn of events with, the player down to 1 minute being the one having this sort of tactic on them is not what they would choose, I bet.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I don't think that there's, this is a crippling disadvantage to be down upon here, but it's going to take a lot of hard work given the time frame to make this game work. I mean, your king sort of boxed in, your bishop isn't your light squared bishop isn't very good. Can't go anywhere right now.
Can white do
It's
check
trapping.
on f7 and then just grab another pawn? Or
well, no, because you can just trade off the rook for the two minor pieces.
Oh, this is good. I guess black wants to trade knights, maybe, or
I'm looking, by the way, at Chlorophyll versus Harold Dela Cruz's game. That's gotten a little bit out of hand.
Oh my god.
Not totally sure what's happened, but black has a queen and white certainly doesn't.
Yeah, it's a good advantage for black.
I'm gonna find where that happened. Huh. Interesting. I mean,
oh, they got
yeah,
two
I think
rooks. Oh no, they got one rook.
Yeah, they didn't though. I think what happened is, so there's a nice little double discovered attack that on move 21, queen to e2.
Yeah,
it sort of moved into a double discovered attack, which was found by black, and that was pretty rough for them.
Yeah.
I mean, after that knight take, the queen's under assault, the rook's under attack. So even if you move the queen, you lose the rook. And I'm not totally sure that moving the queen was the wrong move, but so
totally unsalvageable. Yeah, so they resign.
Yeah, so that game is definitely over. Desert Denizen down to their last 10 seconds.
5
in a complex position.
Yeah, white. I would just bring the rook over and play slow. I mean,
yeah, I mean, there's no reason right now to do anything too complex.
I guess e5 is kind of annoying if black plays e5 or not even.
Yeah. No, I think you don't mind if black plays e5.
You just get your queen out of the way somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just a very basic, very strong position for white. I don't think white's under any pressure to do anything right now, really. Just, consolidate. Did white just drop a bishop?
Oh no. Oh my god, can black?
Black didn't spot it. I think black's moving too quickly right now. Not that black has a choice, right? Like, black has to move too quickly, but that bishop looked to be hanging, to me at least.
Yeah. Oh no, because check. Oh no, it's not checkmate on the board because the queen's still guarding g7.
That was sort of my opinion. Yeah.
Oh, now black times out because they just are realizing they could have just taken a bishop potentially.
Oh no, you know what? It wasn't dropped.
Okay.
You're right. So the bishop, the light squared bishop, was next to the queen, blocking it from defending.
Right.
So yeah, no, that was a good move. I mean, that was good moves by both players, I suppose, but just with the time pressure, Desert Denizen didn't really have a chance.
So we haven't looked at godliness and small blind, but let's check this out. The last game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only one still going, as we expected. Toto Fish and Miller So ended up in a draw.
It did. Wow, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they traded off a lot of pieces, got to an even end game. It was
wow, does not happen a lot in our tournament.
Yeah, I mean, but from that position, I mean, it seemed like the likely conclusion. Toto Fish ended up with 6 minutes 40 seconds out of 5 minutes, which is pretty crazy.
Had an extra pawn, but nothing that it didn't actually work as an extra pawn, I guess.
Yeah, no, well, they ended up with even material,
Oh,
but yeah, you're right. He had an extra pawn for a bit,
for a
but
bit, yeah.
the king was not in a position. His king was not well positioned compared to
Right.
Black's king.
Too passive,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, so giving up that pawn sort of ended up fixing that. But yeah, small blind and godliness. Oh,
So
well,
white is just crushing, right? Or no?
yeah, it looks like Black just dropped a rook. Avi dropped a rook. He moved on move 29. His rook was under attack,
Oh
and
gosh.
he moved the wrong rook basically.
White
Um,
was kind of winning before that too, or I guess it might have been even. Or
uh, I would say that I preferred White's position before that for
yeah.
sure. Um, but it was pretty even. Um,
Hmm.
I think we'll see. I mean, I think we'll continue to see. I think Avi will search for some sort of way out, maybe a perpetual check or something. But
No, he ran out of time.
yeah, he's out of time and frankly in danger of being checkmated in
Yeah,
a
no,
couple of
yeah,
moves.
out of time on the board because I mean White's
Yeah,
got so much initiative here. I mean, I can at least trade rooks or something. I would think.
yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. So, well, I was about to
What?
say rook c7. No, I think that's good.
Oh, okay.
That keeps the king on the last rank. Then you can come in and check with the queen. Then you have to block
Yeah,
with the rook, and you win the rook, or that
yeah,
the defensive move. But you can still, well, that's good
yeah.
too.
Okay.
You could still go rook. I mean, you can still play rook c8.
Right.
Um,
Four sig trade.
you know,
If
we'll see if he finds that move. But yeah, rook c8 is still available. Well, I mean, might as well,
yeah,
might as well win the pawns um, with initiative.
I don't know if Black had any chance in this game. I didn't see any point where Avi had any chances, but if he had gotten a win, he would have tied up their head to head 25 and a half to 25 and a
That's
half.
true. That's true. Keeping the advantage slightly.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna see rook to g7 at some at some point here soon.
Hmm.
It just seems a little too obvious to not. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Cool. First round done. Um, three winners, and then M. Paul got a bye.
Mhm.
Which is,
Yeah, and then we had a draw as well, and now we have 10 players
and
now
we
that
got a new player.
Lucas has
Perfect.
joined.
Yeah, Lucas joined. Great. Well, this will be very interesting to see. Second round. Toto not at the top of the board is a unique sight. Um, wonder.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little surprising. I mean, that game was not a particularly aggressive game. It was just sort of trade off material.
Yeah,
So
at, the,
yeah, it's a little
at
surprising.
that game we were just looking at, when White just grabbed that last pawn, and you were like, oh, like okay, I guess you can grab a pawn. Like he also had checkmate.
Oh,
He
um,
just had queen to g7 checkmate. So,
oh, I see. So we have 11 players now.
do we really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Oh, godliness is at the bottom of the board.
oh, duh. Queen to G7, not rook to G6. Oh boy. Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, yeah.
So, different
Well,
strokes for
I
different
mean,
folks.
at the bottom of the board for now. But
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's temporary.
yeah, I wonder who gets the bye here. We got 11 now.
Oh
So,
yeah. Yeah, and it is 5 rounds. I think when we did it last time, it was 15-minute games, 4 rounds. So now it's 5-minute games, 5 rounds. So
Yeah. So it should be a little. Yeah, we'll have more games, more of an opportunity. I mean, especially with 5 rounds, more of an opportunity for anyone to get back in it even after a disappointing first round.
Yeah, and we just got a follower on Twitch. What's up, Cat? Oh, you're just like a bot. Never mind. Never mind. Got too excited about that one. So, okay, some great chess. Have you been following some top chess? I know there was some Blitz tournament that just happened. I actually didn't watch a lot of it.
No, I have not not been following the world of competitive chess recently so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the next big tournament is the Tata Steel tournament in like 2 weeks, so I'll definitely follow that. That'll be nice.
All right, so Desert Denizen gets the bye this round.
Okay.
So everybody else is competing, and we're off on a couple of boards.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, yeah,
A lot of
Toto
moves
Fish
on
and
board one
Rompatech
already.
are very happy to move quickly.
Wow. That's a strange opening. White on board one.
Uh,
Don't see that a lot.
yeah, you usually see people accepting the Scandinavian. Um, I mean, the Scandinavian is obviously pretty common, but yeah, you see people accept it more often than not. Um, and then you get the advantage of having to involve their queen probably earlier than most openings would want.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, White's in a bit of a strange position here because you can't really move that knight because you don't want to have a double isolated pawn on D this early in the game. But at the same time, um, that it's tough to just park that knight there.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, for now, it's actually pretty safe, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, you just don't love having your bishop tied to that knight and having that knight stuck there. You
No.
got two pieces sort of not in aggressive positions for the price of Black's bishop sitting there, and also being able to maintain an aggressive stance.
Right. Yeah, I'd be wanting to get my knight over to like G3 or something.
Yeah, you don't really want the knight there. But obviously the problem is if you go something like G3,
Takes.
bishop takes bishop, and
Yeah.
that just you know
It's
is
ugly.
an awful pawn structure
Yeah.
to have double pawns on D just that early.
Yeah. Probably better than doubled F pawns. Maybe not.
One thing that's a little concerning is Millerso um, is currently 3 moves in and is down a minute and a half of time.
Feel like he's cooking or something.
Yeah, could be a situation where I think. Am I correct that Millerso had the first round bye?
No,
No,
he
he had a
drew
draw.
Toto.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, probably a little late to the board. So I have to try to earn back some of that time.
Yeah. Playing sort of a wild card. I guess we don't really know Lucas's rating super well, but it's provisional.
I will.
Oh my god.
I will say we're like 20 moves in on the Rompatech Toto Fish
That's
game.
exactly what I was looking at.
Yeah, I mean we're in the end we're in the end game
Yeah.
before some boards are
Whoa.
out of the opening.
So White gave up a pawn to pin the queen to the rook, and then gave up a piece, got the rook. I don't. I don't know. I think Black's doing well here. Wait.
I mean, you gotta like the material advantage for black, but after the queen trade, I think you really like black's position. White did have the advantage of really being able to get some pressure on the king.
Yeah.
But I think once the queen trade happens, that pressure is kind of gone. I mean, white did well to remove the ability for black to castle and to get the king sort of out in the open, but I just don't think white has the material to take advantage of it anymore.
Yeah, no, it's what black has 2 pieces and a pawn to a rook.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean it's I think especially
Oh,
at this point in the end game, um, that
sorry.
material advantage is quite substantial.
Yeah, I thought white had found a way to mix it up or get a pawn. Maybe no, I don't think they did.
It's this is a nice and solid position for black as long as they can maintain their material advantage.
Yeah.
I think they like what they have.
They almost had their knight trapped for a second. They only had 1 square they could put the knight.
Yeah, that's true. They need to be careful. I mean, that's the hard part, right? Of playing the side of this with the material advantage is that you have to hold on to that material advantage, and sometimes it's easy to get yourself in trouble because you have so many pieces.
Yeah.
Um,
They're not coordinated.
yeah, but black's done a decent job of getting everything hooked up, and oh, that's crushing. Well,
Yeah.
oh, I guess there's an out for white, but losing that pawn really and losing that pawn, ending up with those 2 pawns that are passed, is very, very rough for white. And
Mhm.
now they need to find a square for their rook too. This is looking good for Toto Fish.
Oh yeah. Toto likes these types of positions for sure. Doesn't really care about castling, I think sometimes.
Oh, yeah, chess NYC. Is it chess NYC Odafi or is it chess NY
I have
Coda
no idea.
Fee? I don't know.
I thought it said coffee for a while because I wasn't reading it. I think it's it's Kodafi. It says NY Kodafi, I assume.
Yeah, well they just took board 1.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it ended up getting a pretty substantial material advantage.
Oh, very interesting tactic that went down in the early middle game.
Are you talking about around like move 13-ish
Yeah, and like even
or
like starting with move
14?
10, it's like piece, 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 pin the knight, and then yeah, trade get a piece, and then a queen trade. But I guess black had the tempo to, or I guess
Yeah,
it,
black calculated this out nicely.
yeah,
And I think
got a full piece.
yeah, I mean that move 13 bishop to g5, really you can't do that move.
Yeah,
That just loses the piece.
yeah,
And yeah, because black can take with check, obviously they get the extra move,
the
they get
full
the
piece,
piece, and
and
then
they
they
really, yeah,
manage to convert that into um, really a substantial advantage pretty quickly.
mm,
So that's a good
very
win
cool.
for Chess NY Kodafi. They moved to the top of the leaderboard temporarily, at least, with 2 wins.
And then board 2, winner will tie with Chess NY Kodafi. And what is going on board 2? Did we look at this one? No.
I haven't. Yeah, that's
Oh wow. I like White's position.
hmm,
That looks fairly okay.
odd opening. But yeah, I don't really totally understand. I wonder if it was a mouse slip or something, or oh, I see. Never mind. Yeah, White's position's quite nice right now. Um, in large part, black was not able to really castle here. Black was sort of forced into moving their king over to f8.
Right.
And so yeah, this looks pretty good for white. I'm curious if black really needed to move the king at all. Oh, now white's cooking with gas. They have so many options here.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, they're
that's
free
great.
pawn. I mean, yeah, free pawn, but also, I mean, really, checkmate looks like it's coming sooner rather than later.
I don't know. I mean, do you bring the queen back as black?
I think you have to.
Yeah.
I think you have to move the queen back. The other option is knight to f8, but I think that loses after rook to e.
Oh, that's interesting.
To e8 is what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a decent answer. I mean, you have to. I think you just have to move the queen back. But either way, I think you're in a world of hurt as black, especially with the clock running down on you.
Yeah. Wow. Harold.
I think this is gonna. Yeah, I think this is going to convert into a pretty major material advantage at the very least, and probably checkmate.
Yeah, this will be the third win out of 3 games for Harold against small blind. Dominant.
Not a small feat to do that.
Small blind is quite
we might just see the clock run out here.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot in our tournament. I will say people don't do that too much. But
yeah, I think once you're under, I think at some point you're like under 15 seconds and you sort of realize there's no way out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just let it go.
It's definitely not like, it's not rude if you're just coping a little bit. You got some time to feel your feelings. It's not the same as when it's like 2 minutes and someone's being a jerk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at the Miller-So game, and what were we saying about this one again? And white's doing great.
I think we were just talking at the beginning. Miller-So was a little late to the board.
Oh, that's all it was. Yeah, this game is quite interesting. Oh, okay. Wow. So black did 2 pieces for a rook and a pawn.
Yeah.
Piece trade. Some even trades. Oh, wow. White found a very cool tactic to get a rook for a knight. And then trade off some material. Wow, white really played this super well. That was a pretty game, I gotta say.
Yeah, that was a nice move. Seeing that the sort of pin and fork at the same time wins material.
That's what you needed. Like, I think white was already a little ahead, right? But that was like sort of seal the deal, try to make it actually a win.
If white had enough to win that game yet, it was pretty even. And it was pretty even, and material was running low, and I think that it could have gone either way. Though I think it was probably most likely to be drawn. And then just that nice little tactic to finish it off.
Oh, Godliness is looking at a pretty good position here. Okay, game over.
Yeah, it's
well done, Godliness. Gonna be playing small blind next round, right? Or did he play first round? Yeah, they did play first round. My bad. Okay, great. Well, another great round of chess.
Yeah, I'm just sort of looking over Avi's game, and he had a really good position, really throughout. But yeah, winning that queen early was I mean, that's blocking with the queen instead of the bishop is
not a good.
I mean, you can see why that doesn't work pretty quickly. I understand.
Yeah.
I get what the thought. So okay, as soon as that pawn moved, this one was kind of over. As soon as he moved his pawn on move 3, it was kind of over because, I mean, if he does block with the bishop, he loses that knight.
You do.
He loses the knight, and then if he blocks with the queen, he loses the game. So.
Oh my God! Wow, you really botched the opening. I mean.
Yeah, that's not how you're. I mean, really, I guess I just don't totally understand why you would go one knight to a6.
That's I almost literally think I've never seen that move before.
I don't really know what the thought there was.
I think he saw Avi play c3 and was just like, "Hey, fuck you, man. Honestly, I'm gonna play an annoying move too."
But I mean, like, I don't understand. Yeah, I just don't understand that move. And then, I mean, yeah, and then it's not even that bad until you move to b6, and then now you don't have a pawn covering it. So now you're really, as soon as that pawn move was made, now all of a sudden that knight's really under threat.
Yeah.
And it was just too easy to take advantage of that for Avi, and Avi did a nice job capitalizing on the mistake and then finishing off the game.
Yeah. We have Sishel, which is I believe chlorophyll. Sishel, saying he played that move to mess with Avi. So yeah, fair enough. That checks out. And we do have some followers. Looks like that's Avi following Saragossa Schneider Gambit, the famous one and only. Thank you for following the Twitch stream. And good luck in the next round, everybody. What do we got here?
Yeah, the two undefeated players obviously are playing each other. That should be a very interesting game.
Toto Godliness.
Romp Tech against Lucas is already off and running. They're on move 6 already. Classic Sicilian Dragon stuff going on here. I prefer the Yugoslav attack, which is where you really start throwing pawns at the dragon, the Fianchetto bishop, but he opts for a more conservative approach here.
Interesting. What's up, Blue Fire Phoenix 1977? Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, we play every Sunday, or most Sundays we stream, and a lot of great players here. So thanks for coming out. But that's board 6. I mean, 2 very good players on board 6. Honestly, 5, board 5. My mistake. Quite a strong tournament.
Sort of oddity is that we haven't actually gotten off and running on board 1. White has just sort of gotten a minute of time taken off their clock for nothing. Same thing over with M. Paul against Desert Denizen. Desert Denizen has not made a move yet either. And so those clocks are down to like 3:45 almost, just from sitting there.
It's like there's no excuse. I mean, it's a third round. Everybody knows how the tournament works at this point.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting this in the short time control. We saw that sort of the longer time control that sometimes people would not necessarily feel the pressure to show up right on time, but with this short of a time control, I'm a little surprised that we're seeing this, especially sort of as frequently.
Desert Denizen had a bye last round, so that could be.
They just didn't really know when to come back, you think?
Yeah, and Chess NY Code, I was gonna say if you lost the previous round, maybe you're like pissed off, but they won the last round, so it's like
this is the game for current first place, and they're just
we gotta put money on the line or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's look at Totofish Godliness.
Yeah,
it's an English opening, an aggressive sort of English opening too. Like, I mean, very cool.
Yeah, this is. I think Avi's trying to keep it a little closed down, and I think he's been successful in doing this. It's sort of, it was sort of an attempted aggressive start, but I think Avi's done done a good job of consolidating his position and really he's really solid defensively right now. So I think if Toto Fish wants to win, he's going to have to come up with a pretty good attack to make that happen. That being said, he's also up considerable time, which we know is sort of a hallmark of his. If he man, there's always the possibility that time pressure comes into play for Avi. But right now, Avi's done a nice job of just really consolidating, really solid position, not a whole lot of options for Toto Fish to attack from. So I think this is going to be a little more of a classic slow style game.
Yeah,
that
I
will
like
sort
that.
of
Avi just got his queen off the c file. That's definitely necessary.
Yeah, I mean he's in a really good spot. I don't think he has very many attacking chances, but no, he's definitely right there.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, I think you can see that the backwards pawn on D4 is already sort of causing some problems for Toto Fish. He's got plenty of defenders on it for now, but it just makes D5 a really nice square for Avi. He's able to move pieces there as much as he wants. Ooh, interesting.
That almost seems like a blunder. I mean, for white.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure what the thought process. I mean, so actually, the rook is trapped there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the blunder is more moving the bishop to F1 and not giving it a square. So he's all right. Avi's now has something to work with. He's really
that bishop F1 move was played in 1 second, by the way.
Fair enough. No, Avi doesn't need to do anything crazy here. Up the exchange, if he can just find a way to get this to an end game, it should be good for him. I mean, I think probably the next plan is to load up on the C file and just push that pawn to C5 and try to break up the pawn structure. Or I guess, he's currently trying to load up on D4, but I think there's a lot of defenses there, so I'm not sure if that's going to be particularly successful.
Avi really came in aggressively with the knight and allowed Toto to make a mistake, and I think a lot of players don't play that aggressively. Or he came in with the knight and the bishop, and he just really came at Toto quickly too. And I think that's something you don't see all the time, both from Avi and against Toto in general.
Yeah, trapping that in was a good move. By the way, M. Paul has taken the victory on time.
Didn't Desert he Denizen get a bye as well?
Yeah, Desert Denizen never showed up, so that's two points for M. Paul. Without
playing a move.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, the Lucas Rompetek game is pretty far along. They're sort of in a late middle game, close to the end game, but a big time advantage for Rompetek. Lucas is just over a minute left on his clock in a pretty even game.
Even material, but very imbalanced queen side, king side type of thing.
True. But none of those pawns are passed pawns. Every file is half open.
Yeah.
The one thing is white has done a better job of advancing their pawns. So I think that if they can get their king involved and get this to an end game, they are looking pretty good. Black is going to have an absolute devil of a time getting their king involved.
Yeah. Good point.
But we'll see. Nothing's really been decided yet. I think think they're going to have a little. I mean, one thing that's worrying for white is that pawn on c2 is really not good. It's going
Yeah.
to be tough to defend that. I think the bishop trade's coming, and then you try to defend that with a rook. But I think that's going to be sort of a. It's going to be a sticking point.
Yeah,
It's going to be a
'cause
sticking point.
does the dark squared black bishop just go to like b2 or something and attack the rook in that case, or? Oh, okay.
Well,
Never mind.
yeah, I think that that pawn is going to be tough to defend, especially now that it's an isolated pawn. Um, that is going to be tough. It is on a light square, so the bishop can't get involved in the attack. So that is a
Two.
nice benefit.
I mean, there's a huge time issue. Yeah, something really seems off for white here. Yeah, it doesn't seem
Well,
like
yeah,
a pawn's gotta fall or something. I don't know.
it really does just seem like their pieces aren't very active. The rook's not in a fantastic position. I mean, the knight is in an awful spot.
But you don't like the knight on h1? That's like a great spot for a knight.
Yeah, and we just all right. So now black's won the pawn,
Yeah.
and probably will be able to get more.
Oof.
Yeah, I think I don't. I'm not sure if you take this exchange if you're black.
I'd be tempted to, but with the time issue also, you might as well keep the pieces on the board.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's a
really
really nice
smart.
move. That I think is it. I don't think there's any way back. Yeah, now you can just take the
definitely.
knight, take the pawn. You're up a, that's an insurmountable lead at that point.
For sure. Wow. Romp attack never seen before by me, at least in this tournament.
Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty sure they're new to Fat Cat, and
it's a great club. We got a lot of good players.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I don't really understand. Yeah, I don't really understand what happened in the last two moves. I mean, you think you just take the pawn, right? Like
set it up so clearly. I don't know what they were
all right,
worried about, but
now they're gonna do it. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's no hurry, right?
Yeah.
That position's solid. There's no, it's going to be there in a move anyway. That pawn's going to fall.
Yeah.
But I think they should have made that move earlier, just so that white couldn't keep their knight on the board. Because I think up two pawns, you want to get rid of some of the material off the board rather than have it. But
yeah,
either way, should be a relatively clean end game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you push d4, or is it too early for that?
I think you get your king into a better position if you can. I mean, that's the first priority is just get your king involved in a good position.
Yeah.
And then the pawn pushes can come later.
Now it's running out of moves for white.
Yeah, well, there it is.
There you
go. Avi has gotten himself into a spot of bother. He's somehow has lost his material advantage and in fact is down a piece.
Okay, so we left this game where he had, definitely gotten some clever moves. Oh, wow. So around move 30, 33, white's knight just found a way to take a rook, just totally.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny. We've seen this on both sides. Both players have moved their bishop into a position that blocks in their rook and lost the rook because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, and it's over.
And it's over, yeah.
Wow, Toto is extremely resourceful, honestly. You have to beat him multiple times when you play him.
Yeah, I mean, that was really, I'm impressed that he managed to, or he or she managed to get a decent attack going even after
6 minutes, 47 seconds.
Huh. Actually, I'm not totally sure. Totally sure what happened on the board.
So around like 36. Bishop takes you. Is that around where you're looking at?
Yeah. I mean, 30. So okay, so 35. Things made sense until move 36 to me. I'm not. I mean, it seemed like there was no need to lose the rook.
Like, why can't it just go to like D7?
Yeah, or I mean,
Or
anywhere really.
yeah,
But
D8.
yeah, I don't know why you would take that pawn with the bishop. And I certainly don't know why you would. Yeah, I just don't know why you'd take that pawn with that bishop. And
He
then
thought he had some double-barreled attack on the D file, but it seems to be pretty clear that it doesn't work now.
yeah, I don't really know.
And then Toto just cleans off the material. Super,
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
Oof. That was a rough game for Godliness. I gotta say, really well played in the opening though to get that advantage. I mean, there was a solid advantage there, but so Toto back up.
Avi just tried to call me.
Oh, Avi tried to call you.
Yeah.
He doesn't like what we're saying, maybe. Yeah. He can hop. I mean, I don't know if he has a. Oh, he's calling me.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, dude? Do you want to be interviewed live?
Yo, I just wanted to explain my rationale behind that terrible move.
Okay, you're live, so people can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds good.
Go for it.
Yeah, okay, so what happened was, certainly retreating the bishop to c7 was a big mistake.
Okay.
You know, especially because it boxed in my rook, which needed that square, right? You know.
Yeah.
Other than that's how I totally lost my advantage. But then it's funny how often right after you lose your advantage, you just lose the game.
Right.
You know,
you lose your will, sort of.
Yeah. But so I actually thought my move was really clever when I went knight to b6, kicking the queen and giving my rook an escape square. So I thought I was in good shape here, and it looks like I am in fine condition. Capturing the pawn was just a miscalculation, and it's because I felt like I controlled the D file at this point.
What I thought,
yeah. But just the fact of the matter is, his light squared bishop is double defending that rook, so I can't just trick him. Because I thought I had enough pressure on the E file. I kept looking at it, you know what I mean? But I captured the fruit before it was ripe.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider his dark squared bishop supporting that pawn. So, very dubious.
Well, way to get the advantage in the out of the opening.
Right? I was really proud of how I was playing.
Very aggressive. I was saying, you really went on the attack. You were playing fast, and I think that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, the guy's a monster. I'm working on it, but
ridiculous.
I was really proud of the opening position. I thought, I've played him in that opening, coming on 40, 50 times now.
So funny. Well, because he plays that English.
I'm becoming pretty booked up in it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a very interesting, aggressive English. I love it.
Yeah, me too. I like when I just try to play moves that make your position look pretty,
Yeah. So wait, Jeremy, do you have any questions for Avi while we have him on the live?
No, I think just that one sequence is what we were curious about, I think.
Yeah. Cool. Dude, and then I was really disappointed too. Small blind, our game was such a stale draw, and I just kind of let go of the gas pedal and forgot to analyze why he would possibly move his queen to that specific square.
That was the one where he took your rook.
My rook.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess he made a nothing move, and then I just made a positional move.
Was that a dead draw, or did he have an advantage?
It was a dead draw.
Okay.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's so stale.
Because he was piling on that pawn, I was wondering if he had an advantage.
He was piling on the pawn. But what was going to happen was I was going to get my king involved, and then it was protected.
It was protected, yeah.
Yeah, so but I just had to move my rook. I had two options of moving my rook up or moving my rook just on the same file.
Yeah.
And I was a little hesitant to do the same file, but that was clearly the better option.
Yeah. That's what Jeremy was saying. He's like, oh, you just moved the wrong rook. It seemed like in that moment.
Oh no! So what I'm saying is the fact that my rook was even able to be attacked by his queen as his queen moved away
even before
is because So I had the option of moving my rook to like the E file, or moving it upwards, like number wise from like H1 to H3 to defend.
And that would have kept the harmony, so you didn't have to worry about something like
exactly.
that.
Exactly. And then sliding that king in gives me the fourth defender, and then I can start mobilizing.
Yeah. Well, hey, 2 more rounds. Yeah. Some great games you've had. I wonder who you're playing next. Yeah. Looks like.
Ooh, Harold's doing good. That's nice.
That's gonna be top board for sure. And then Lucas.
Did he beat Chesson Kodafi? Chesson Kodafi is a national master.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't. I definitely didn't know that. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, he did. No, he did beat. Yeah.
You'll notice Chesson Kodafi
So
tends to play like all the money.
Harold had a 2.5-minute head start.
It's only $10.
Oh.
He's like, oh well.
Jeremy's saying Harold had a 2.5-minute head start. Is that right?
Because Chess NY Kodafi or whatever didn't make their first move until 2.5 minutes had gone off their clock, and they never really.
Oh geez.
I think they weren't really able to play a good game from that point.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, gotta show up to your games.
Good fight against Toto, and I'm getting there. I just gotta hold the advantage when I get it.
Yeah, no, I would.
Easier said than done.
It
you
is.
can never step off the gas for him. It's kind of wild to me that bishop move was just like it took a 3-point advantage and just made it an even game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. That's one of those moves you don't think it's like the whole game will hinge on something like that. How you retreat a bishop, but yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't even have to be retreated. That
is
was
that right?
Mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of ran out of things to do.
Right. Right.
And I just moved a piece that ended up clogging my fortress.
Yeah. Well, hey, I would feel great about that game, even just getting an advantage as black out of the opening. That's pretty cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's clearly a monster in this. I mean, he's
a monster.
What is he, top 5K or something on the site? 24-14 is no joke.
So you said this is a money tournament?
816. He's top 1,000.
He's in the top. Toto is in the top 900 Lee chess players.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you say this is a money? There's a money prize?
Yeah, I'm giving $10 to the winner.
Okay, sick. Well, hey, I'll let you go. Good luck in the next round.
Thank you.
Yeah, feel free to call if you want to talk after or whatever.
Okay.
All right.
You guys are doing great.
Thanks. All right. Peace, man. Was that coming through okay, Jeremy?
Just in and out, I think, a little bit for me.
Okay,
but
yeah.
that's
It's not the ideal way to pull up audio.
Yeah. I will say that Miller has won their last 2 games. They just beat Small Blind in the last round, played a solid game, and ended up taking a piece that in a good combination. So maybe the Toto Fish draw at the beginning is less about an off game for them and more about a good opponent. Millerso's playing really well. Harold, Toto, and Millerso all right there in competition for this championship.
Yeah, definitely. And even the players at the bottom are great. I mean, even this Godliness Lucas game is probably going to be really interesting. But
yeah.
But so let's check out, I guess, board 1. What do we got here? Oh, never mind. It's not much to look at yet.
No, but this is definitely going to be a matchup. I mean, this is a huge matchup in this tournament because Harold obviously having the lead, Toto in second. Toto's dominated.
Yeah, 13 games, drawn 1 out of 15 games. Wow.
Yeah, so this will be a big game for Harold Dela Cruz. I mean, so far pretty passive. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that game develops. But that's definitely a huge game in this tournament.
Mm.
I'm trying to think if there's.
So Millerso just got a pawn. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's a pawn trade. But that's an interesting position as white. I guess it's fine for Millerso.
Yeah, it was sort of so Scandinavian defense. I mean, at some point, that queen's going to get chased off that square. So we'll see where he puts it. Right now, I think you have to like White's position to some extent. Good development by White, the opportunity castle. Black is going to have to move that queen after knight to c3. They're going to have to move the pawn. That's one way to do it. I don't really love that move. Just because I think, first of all, you get the tempo, and second of all, I like the knight check. I just like the knight check better and getting the knight involved. But he'll be able to get the bishop involved, and maybe if he wants it. And Black will have to work a little harder to get their dark squared bishop active and be able to castle.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it looks like an English opening, or not too different.
Yeah, it's sort of eventually transposed in that, though. Usually in the English, you don't see a queen placed on a5 anytime quickly in the game.
Yeah.
I actually think right now Black's done an excellent job the last few moves. That getting an attack, getting their pieces involved. Now they're able to castle, and I think while White had maybe an early advantage, I think Black's clawed it back. And I kind of like Black's position better even here a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. Yeah, I mean the way the pieces hang together seems to be working fine so far for Black, as long as no sudden weaknesses develop with, like, I don't know, b7 or the pieces on the king side, the knight and the bishop. But it seems dynamic and interesting and works for now. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think pretty much all the boards. I'm looking through them. Pretty much all the boards are sort of in a feeling out phase. Sort of working through the opening, trying to make some progress, though. On board 1, we're starting to see some action.
Let's look at that. Whoa!
Somehow both kings are kind of exposed, and there's an aggressive pawn placement. Plenty of development. This is an interesting position.
White
it looked like sort of. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say White did like 4 knight moves in a row or something, or 3, almost 4 in a row.
Yeah, I think the goal was just to reposition that knight, but maybe it's to lend some security to the king. I don't know. White's king is surprisingly forward. Not necessarily. That's not necessarily a criticism.
Oh, that's a good tactic.
Well, yeah, that's quite nice. And I think, that's part of the problem with having your king that far forward.
Wow.
Is that you open yourself up more easily to stuff like that. And now Black has really has a nice game ahead of them. But we'll see.
Yeah, White totally missed that tactic. White needed to get that knight off the board several moves earlier.
Yeah. I think luckily for White, there's not too much of. I don't see too much of a continuation on this for Black. Well, just because I didn't see it doesn't mean it wasn't there. Oh my goodness.
That pawn. Was that avoidable? I don't even know what White could have done to prevent that at that point. Oh gosh. Oh, this is over.
No, so theoretically you could take on move 24, you could trade bishops, but that's not great either. This is, yeah, I think this is just a really nice position for black. And then, I mean,
I would have traded queens as black right there, and then taken the pawn, and then tried to eventually push d3 or something. But I mean, they're fine.
yeah, you definitely could, and it wouldn't be a bad position at all. But I think when you have this good of an attack,
yeah,
you know, why not keep it up? If you,
Yeah.
you know, why let white have anything?
yeah.
Um, Especially now. I mean, you can start threatening checkmates. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
No, better to take with check. And then now,
Well,
oh
yeah. So yeah, this has gotten really bad for white, and it all just started from moving those pawns up and moving the king up and putting it sort of in a dangerous position. Black immediately knew how to capitalize on that, and I mean that's basically it. I would expect a resignation coming
yeah.
here.
Black pushed f5 and f4, and then took on g3 and 3 moves in a row, and it was just totally broke open the whole position.
Yeah, well, I'm not I'm not totally sure why white in the first place ever played h4. They played 8 on move 8. They played h4,
It's
which
just stylish, yeah.
I mean, I just don't understand it. It's
There's
and
no
then
point.
because of it, they had to. Yeah, here comes resignation.
Yeah.
Because of that move, that early move, then you had to play g3, and then you had to play, because of g3, you had to play king g2, and so you ended up having just this series of moves, starting with that really nonsense h4 move, in my opinion, that led
Yeah.
to an attackable position. And I mean, credit to Toto for taking advantage of it in a really spectacular way. But
And I think, yeah, if you give Toto Fish just an inch, like, you're screwed. But I think the h4 is, you're definitely right that it's not like the move. It doesn't help the position as white, but it's probably not terrible if you. But following it up with knight a3, and then like 3 more knight moves, it, there's no way that
yeah,
that was helpful at that point.
I agree that knight sort of taking a walk was probably not ideal. I do think that it actually positioned quite nicely, that knight eventually.
Yeah.
Um, though I'm not totally sold on the f1 knight move, but I mean, just the problem was the pawn structure in front of the king
Yeah.
was bad, and then it was attacked, and then it couldn't hold up because it was bad. So
Yeah.
I just don't really know what he was going for.
Like c4. When white played c4, that seems really bizarre. I want to look at that on the analysis board. It just like didn't seem like a priority that you'd have to. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, it's not even close to a top move. Oh, it's a losing move actually. Okay, nice. I was right about that. Yeah, it was like fairly even then. Even then, it's like you can. I mean, oh, knight
Yeah,
d.
black's probably up about a pawn for that move.
Yeah, you have to find knight d2 as white to even be, or like that's the best move, and that's really hard to find.
Yeah, I don't think like c4 in and of itself is bad. I think the problem is that you don't make a defensive move there in a position where
Yeah,
your king is, wandering, and you need
it was
to
your
defend
last
it.
chance, I think, as white,
Yeah,
sort of.
basically it was your last chance to defend it, and it
Yeah,
wasn't defended, and then things started going really badly. But I mean, again, it's the king only needed to be defended because of that just pawn structure that is
yeah.
nonsense in the first place.
Oh wow, Miller dropped a queen.
Well, that'll
That's one way to
that,
do
that
it.
yeah. I see.
Wow, and romp attack.
Oh yeah. Yeah, things were looking, I don't know, not that good anyway. I'm a little not sure of why he would queenside castle behind such sort of open pawn structure in the first place.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that
What?
queen did
Yeah.
not need to be dropped.
No, totally. I mean, Kingside Castle looks so much better right there. I mean, I guess you have the issue of your bishops unguarded if they take your knight off the board and stuff after you Kingside Castle, but it seems like there's some resolution to that.
Yeah, it seems like you have ways of getting around your issues if you kingside castle. But I mean, oof,
Yeah, it's
that
bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that I will say that queen move was not good. Dropping a queen, usually not a very good move. I still think black was way better even before
Yeah. Well,
the
yeah.
queen was
White was
dropped.
sort of blinded by like such a bad position. It's like they're worried about the rook going to b8, and they have so much they have to worry about. So they
Yeah,
just
and actually the computer thinks that white's winning with kingside castle there, and then thinks that queenside castle is losing.
that's
So it
yeah.
has them almost up a pawn until that queenside castle, and then has them almost down a pawn
Yeah, they
because of it.
basically
And
dropped a piece.
yeah, I agree with that. I think that was made the position quite tough. Um, regardless of the queen drop.
Yeah.
But that sort of clears the way for um,
Right.
clears the way for Toto Fish to be number one in this tournament because
Yeah.
Miller So now a full point back, Chess NY, Kodafi, and Harold Delacruz both a half point back, and
They haven't
uh,
played Chess NY though, so that's going to be the next round
true.
though.
Yeah, I think that'll be the next round.
Yeah,
Um,
probably.
just looking
Um,
around the other boards.
did we look
Looks
at
like
Godliness beating Lucas? How did that happen?
I don't think we looked at that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Huh. Piece. Interesting. Pretty aggressive. Oh wow. Sack 2 pawns. White just gives up two. Oh no. Gives up 1 pawn and then just gets a rook somehow. What? Oh,
Oh,
because
well, that's. I
yeah.
mean, he just drops it. Oh, he doesn't.
No.
He forks. So he forks the knight and the rook.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
but the
So that
knight could
knight.
have gone back to d7, no?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Actually, knight d7 is a pretty nice move.
Yeah.
And yeah, just drops that rook. After. I mean, and then then it's academic from there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a big miss.
Okay, I think Avi's calling me. Let me
Okay.
try to get the audio right here. Hey, man. Yeah, nice win.
Yo, so what you're gonna notice, because I felt it as soon as it occurred,
Yeah.
is I thought that his knight attacking my queen was gonna be harmless, but actually, it's immediately totally losing for me because when I have to move my queen back to the A file, he could actually just fork my queen and rook right away with his pawn just by pushing it up.
Oh, yeah. Do you see that, Jeremy, on move?
I was like, well, so I lose.
Move
but like
24.
I had no other option.
Move 24
And then-
b6. Yeah, for black there.
The reason I won that game, by the way, is this guy is a brilliant man and played phenomenal chess, but just doesn't have as much exp, And I knew that I could feel based off of how critically he was thinking through the middle game that odds are if he runs into time pressure, he's not going to be able to keep up his caliber of play because he's really thinking through everything, which means he doesn't have those just like instincts down pat. I just had a feeling that if I could get him low on time, even if my position was losing, as soon as he didn't find the critical move of forking my queen and my rook, I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna be able to smoke him.
Yeah, I mean It was a complicated position, but yeah, I didn't
so
notice that, but I mean, you would
really
think,
the issue there is, so my pawn push was good and it was a good idea. I did it too late and I ended up boxing in my queen. So before I moved my pawns, I would have had to swing my queen like around them. The initial idea, just so you know, was that if I pushed those pawns, he wouldn't be able to capture with the C pawn because I was pinning the pawn to his queen.
And to
the
rook.
trouble
yeah.
the trouble is his knight move does so many fucking things because it even protects the queen.
Yeah, and it forces you. I mean, you have
It's
one
just
square,
brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Unless I just wanna stack.
Your best move
It's
after
probably stack, right?
is to rook takes d5.
Rook takes. Oh, that's pretty.
That's
and my
interesting.
queen would be able to take. You see?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Maybe I did have some pressure. Ooh, so
It's complicated.
Not d5.
Yeah.
No. Take c5, c4, c6. I mean.
I was looking at move
Taking
24.
on c6 would be lit. I think that works.
What does that look like? Yeah, that's bad because rook takes c6. He just takes back. That's so weird.
No, I guess it's bad because the knight takes the queen.
Well, that doesn't.
I don't know. I gotta play Miller. Okay.
Have a good last round, dude. Okay. Hope that
So
was
it looks.
audible.
Yeah, it looks like Desert Denizen, by the way, was kicked after the last round, so he's out. M-Paul has paused their tournament, so they are passing. So we're down to 4 boards.
Fair enough. That's how it should be.
But yeah, small blind gets the bye here. So they move up the leaderboard pretty far. But yeah, we'll see how this last round goes.
Board number 1 is going to be very cool.
Assuming that Chess NY Kodafi shows up.
Assuming that he shows up, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. It's
you're not.
This is the critical round of the tournament, really, for him. If he wins this game, he's at the top of the leaderboard, and
yeah.
Him or her, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
And
yeah, last round of the night.
Yeah, and if they win this round, I'm trying to think if they beat Harold.
Harold.
Tie right. Harold Dela Cruz. Yeah, if Chess NY Gaddafi would win this round, they would at least share first place. But that would require showing up to the board and making moves, which apparently is not on the menu tonight. So
Harold did grab a pawn out of the opening. Wow. That's just a solid pawn for black. I mean,
sort of normal Sicilian stuff, Sicilian dragon. Yeah, I'm not sure why that pawn got pushed like that.
That's just a blunder.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally sure I understand A4 in the first place, much less A5. I mean, and now, okay, I guess I don't really understand at all White's strategy here.
Yeah.
Because I love the pawn pushes. I love getting aggressive against the Sicilian dragon. I love that sort of aggressive pawn push on the king side, but I love it a lot more when you're not castled king side. Because that king is just kind of out there at this point, which could come into play. So I'm not totally sure what the strategy is for White. Not totally sure why they dropped the pawn. I think against the Sicilian dragon, you just play the Yugoslav, and you just go from there, and then you don't worry about all this. You don't worry about all these pawn. You don't have to worry about your king. It's on the right side of the board. It's on the correct side of the board. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I guess White'll try to wait to see if there's some tricks or something, but there's nothing yet. I mean, they're just down a pawn, and they don't have any play really. I mean, even the rook on the A file for White is like it's not really doing anything, and even though it's a partially open file, huh? Any moves on board one? No, no
No.
chess.
Toto's going to win this one really by default at this
Oh
point.
no,
It's
chess.
kind of an embarrassing,
We
an
should
embarrassing way to end.
we should be like, you don't get to play the next week if you do this. I mean, but I'm not gonna enforce that. I don't care. But.
Yeah, I don't see who's going to enforce that.
I mean, it should just be like a nice thing people do to be nice and play their games.
Yeah. Toto is going to end this tournament as the winner. So still some podium spots up for grab.
2,
but
1. Chess. God damn it. Well played,
wild.
Toto.
And the funny thing is, if you look at their history, it's Chess NY Kodafi is actually done well against Toto.
It's all right.
So like this was not a foregone. This game was not a foregone conclusion at all.
Yeah.
But it's over. And speaking of over, Lucas Chlorophyll's beaten Lucas already.
What the hell happened?
That's an odd. Yeah.
He just sacked a knight, and then he resigned instead of making a move. That's not even the lost position. Oh yeah, it is.
It is, but I think once he realized that he didn't have a legitimate kingside attack, there wasn't much hope. But the take on C7 early in the game is just such a wacky move. Because I think I get it, right? He thinks, okay, then I can take the bishop for free and I win a pawn. Except obviously the queen just covers the bishop. It's basically black's only move. And sort of ends the game, and it really just ends the game.
And following up that aggressive knight move with knight d2 is just strange. Like, I mean,
I also think the opening probably didn't go great for White. I don't know why you would take bishop. Why you would do bishop takes g8 on move 5. I think if you play against the King's Gambit enough, which this isn't. This is I'm trying to remember what it's called when Black plays it. It's escaping me a little bit. Latvian Gambit. That's it.
What is it?
I think so it's the Latvian Gambit is what Black played, which is basically like King's Gambit is Black. But if you play enough King's Gambit or Latvian Gambit, you know that having a bishop on c4 is so powerful. It prevents them from castling. It's a very active piece. It has so many threats, and he just sort of throws it away early. But at the same time, I mean, Black doesn't get a big advantage from their gambit, so White's probably fine until they just drop their piece.
Well, let's look at board 2, because I mean, second place board. Oh yeah, this was the one White dropped a pawn in the opening. Traded queens. Oh wow, very interesting pawn structure. And then black gave up the exchange. I mean, I guess I don't know why you do that as black. I mean, it's not necessary, but okay.
I'm not totally sure why. I don't really know why white would offer up that queen trade.
Yeah.
Down a pawn with a very aggressive position. It seems like giving up that queen means that you are just down a pawn. But yeah, that losing that exchange, not properly. Yeah, losing that exchange
Oh,
is a weird one. I think it's not terrible.
Oh, black found a very interesting tactic with that bishop takes c5 check to get a pawn. They get 2 pawns, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a nice tactic. You're right.
It's very cool.
Yeah, they sort of, black sort of has re-equalized, has sort of equalized the game back. Well, I don't know. I think black's still in a lot of trouble. I know that they have a couple of passed pawns, but their pieces, especially their light squared bishop, is just so bad
Yeah.
compared to white's dark squared bishop. I think this is going to be tough for them. If I were white, I would love to trade rook for rook, and I would try to keep sort of everything penned in, and sort of try to search for an advantage, get my king involved if possible. But I don't know, with the opposite squared, or yeah, with one side having a light squared bishop, one side having a dark squared bishop, it may be that nobody's going to be able to win this game.
Yeah, rook versus a knight and 2 pawns, I guess. And I mean,
Yeah.
black's got some good pawns that, or it could be ultimately that c pawn could be quite good. I feel like
They do, but I mean, the rook pair is very strong.
Yeah.
Also, I think their king is in a much better spot than the black king. The black king really doesn't have anywhere to go.
No. Can't attack any of those pawns or anything. Yeah. Okay, and then board 3, we got a game 2, Godliness versus Miller So. They have never played before.
Yeah, so Avi ended up down a pawn. Yeah, I mean, basically, so basically, yeah, Avi, I think messed up the opening a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, dropping that pawn on b2 is not healthy.
Yeah, once that happened, and then I mean, then you have to do the queen trade on the back of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're never going to be able to protect the doubled isolated pawn on c5. Yeah, so he really did lose a pawn there, and black does a good job. I mean, just collecting it, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, you really gotta like black's position. One thing that's interesting is both players are running kind of low on time. Avi's under 30 seconds. Miller So is under 40 now. So
a lot of moves to play too.
Yeah, this is not going to get decided anytime soon.
Godliness would love the win, get to 3 points, and leapfrog a bunch of people.
Yeah. I mean, Avi's got to do something to protect that pawn.
Oof.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
I mean, that pawn may have been indefensible anyway, but yeah, you can't
Yeah.
get forked there. That fork was reasonably obvious, and
Yeah, I will say very quick though, very well spotted and fast by Miller. So definitely a
yeah,
good
I
move
mean, that fork was.
there.
I think it was coming from a mile away.
Yeah, they saw
Um,
it coming.
I think, yeah. So all Miller so has to really do here is just clean up. Um, that's such a good move.
Yeah.
I think Avi is not. No, oh my God, got forked again. I mean, really, at this point, you're up so many pawns. As black, you could just trade your rooks for the knights.
Yeah.
You do not mind losing those exchanges at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would do that right now. I'd just take a knight.
Yeah. Got
Just
the
simplify
majority
the
on
board.
both sides.
Yeah, just simplify the board. Avi's got nothing. Like, just I would have just made that exchange just
Yeah.
because. And now, I mean, yeah, now you just march your pawns, right? Or fork again. Oh my goodness, that's three different forks that Avi has fallen victim to in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
I would just I wouldn't even bother to do that. Yeah, I would just exchange right now. Perfect.
Smart.
Yeah, this
Exactly.
just got easy. Ignore everything going on that side of the board. Get a couple of queens.
Oh
Easy finish.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Now you can just king and rook checkmate. Yeah. All right.
All right. Last game of the night, board 2. Black is up a pawn. A very good pawn. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good pawn.
So one kind of interesting thing is with Miller so winning that game, he is temporarily in second place.
Oh.
The winner of this game, I believe, takes over. Let's see. So if Rompatek wins, Miller so gets second. If Harold Delacruz wins or there's a draw, Harold Delacruz gets second. But Harold is definitely up a lot.
Oh, I
Yeah.
miscalculated, or something just changed dramatically. Wow, yeah, White just lost a full piece.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just drop that bishop. I mean,
oh yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
Harold's
not sure why that happened. Oh, I would have. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any way back for White here. I mean, you just oh,
Is
now you
that
can
bad or Rook C7?
No, I would play Rook C7 here.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's no.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fine too.
That's even better. Yeah.
I don't know. I like Rook C7. It's going to be. I mean, you're making it a little difficult on yourself to promote. The one nice thing is that knight's going to prevent that rook from getting to the squares it wants to. I mean, I would just go. Now I would go. Well, I don't know. This is a little tough.
Yeah. Because King D2 is kind of annoying, right? Or I guess King D. Okay. Yeah, I'm worried about the white king scaring away the black rook and then white just grabbing that pawn on C5, but maybe that's.
Well, I mean that position for black is solid. There's no. Well, okay. That's a free. Now white's really screwed because you can just attack on both sides of the board.
Yeah. That was clever. Just guard the pawn or just guard the rook with the pawn and
yeah, and I can just now if he tries to check you again, you just block with the knight.
Yeah, move the king up the board and yeah. Wow, great night for Harold. Definitely some great wins in there.
Yeah, so if Harold can close this out, he finish in second in I believe his first ever tournament here. Miller so will get third. and of course
no, I've definitely
Toto.
seen Harold before.
Oh, sorry, not Harold. You're right. This is Rompetech's first tournament, not Harold's.
Oh yeah,
My bad.
yeah. Rompetech's doing great too. Yeah.
Yeah. So Harold will finish second with 4 points if they can close this out.
Yeah.
Uh,
And it would be hard to not win this game as black, probably. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean this is fine.
Yeah.
You can.
You
Just do
could
that.
even have let them take on h3, let white take, and then do a fork. I don't know. I'm not looking for too complicated stuff. But you don't have to be tricky here. It's all in the
No,
bag.
you definitely don't.
Okay. People fight to the death sometimes, I will say.
Well, so the pawn on f4 is hanging here, right?
Take.
If you take and then they take, you just get a queen.
You queen, yeah.
But now this way is a little safer, I guess. Or
No, that was
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Could be a resignation coming any minute. Yeah,
Yep.
there it is. Well,
oh, look at that! Great
good
tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Toto Fish took care of business.
Mm-hmm.
Really, except for that disappointing last round where his opponent didn't show up. Good tournament. Harold had an excellent tournament. Beat everybody that he played other than Toto Fish.
Yeah.
And Millerso had an impressive tournament. Drew Toto Fish, and then they did have a loss against Chess and Y Kodafi.
We got Godliness saying fuck Millerso. Great tournament, man. I mean, that was a tough last game, I guess. How did you feel?
Well, so what's interesting about the game is I came up with a really creative concept that's actually like alternate book, so the moving the knight out onto the rim is a brilliant idea. And if he had just captured with his queen, then my whole action comes into play. But he didn't. He was like, okay, I'm gonna find an alternate move here, not allow you to do
were
what you're
counting on
trying to
him
do.
taking immediately on
Taking
B2.
immediately. Yeah, and then I move my knight to B5, threatening the check and fork on C7.
Yeah.
And defending the pawn on C3.
You can mute the live stream, by the way. I'm getting a little feedback, but yeah, that I can see why that would be interesting because you do have B5 guarded to put your knight there. That's interesting, huh?
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, it's a really creative concept. But so then, actually, everything's fine, and so he's like, "Well, I don't want your knight coming there or your bishop," so he pushes, A6, and then. The next move I make is my losing move. All I have to do is go queen to B3, and his queen's got to back it up because capturing would be a mistake for him. So, he kind of just has to lose a tempo, go back to the starting square. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So now I know for the next time. But I went off theory here. And my move was silly. My next move was actually junk. I'm disappointed I didn't defend that pawn, honestly. Even just moving the rook to B1 is, better than what I did.
That point. Yeah,
what I did instead was step on in, but he wants to step in. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
no, at that point he does. Yeah, because you don't have the counterplay, so it takes a long time to. Yeah. Well, so many strong players in this club, really.
Yeah, right?
Strong players.
Yeah. This is great.
Yeah.
It's super healthy.
Great try. Jeremy was pointing out you got forked 3 times in that game.
It was all in a row, too. And I could hear you guys just saying oh, yeah, oh, no, he's really got nothing. Oh, no, it's not looking good for Avi. It's ooh.
I don't recommend listening.
Well, I think maybe his best move here is, and then I just resigned,
I don't recommend listening. I'm sure it would be distracting. But
No, it's so cute. I enjoy it.
and someone needs to reprimand Chess NY Kodafi for that last
Dude,
game.
obviously his wife needed him. Come on. Let's be
How am I
honest. The
supposed
guy
to
beats
know
Toto
that?
Fish left and right. He is entered in the tournament. He's playing every round. He's in the finals. This is a
Yeah.
big match, and there's money on the line.
Yeah.
Something came up. I'll ask him.
Yeah.
And next week I can tell you what happened. So
maybe it's
Yeah.
a marriage problem and he needs to talk about it with his wife. I think this is pretty
I mean,
serious.
something came up, certainly.
No, I
I'm
mean,
not saying there's
we were- No, we were just so hyped because it was like, and especially
I
with,
was so pumped.
they
to
have
see
an
them
even,
fight too.
yeah, they have a very even back and forth. So no, I'm sure it was something legitimate, but it'll be great to see
everyone
next week.
had a
Yeah,
shot there. Toto could have been out of the podium
it's
if he had lost that game.
could he have been out of the
So that would
podium?
have been
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah.
He could have been, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, hey.
It was a tight battle. This was great.
Yeah, very good stuff, and yeah, lots of fun to commentate.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And okay, congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. Peace out, Avi, and thanks for coming and chatting.
Yeah, I love you guys doing this. It's so cool. We just got to make it like an official stream. We'll have to work on that.
I'm down for any upgrades you want to do. I'm always down.
Cool. Well, yeah, I can tell every week the stream looks upgraded. It looks great.
It does work a little better each week. All right, well, catch you later, man. Have a good rest of your night.
Sounds good. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Great streaming with you, Jeremy, and lots of fun as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was great. Really good tournament.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, lots of strong players. Some we hadn't even seen before. So yeah, this was a really good tournament.
Yeah. All right. Well, hope to do it again sometime. Commentate with you and have a good time. And yeah, I'll see you at a future Fat Cat King Cat Chess Club.
It sounds good, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Absolutely. All right.
All right.
All the
Bye.
best.